B. Scott, Danny and I are so excited to chat with you, especially in Cannes. When we saw you were on the speaker lineup, we audibly gasped. This is so amazing.
It is amazing. It's my first time in Cannes, and I'm so excited to be here. And also talk to Page Six.
Yes.
We're more excited to talk to you because we were chatting before interviewing how incredible it is that you're here. You were saying there's all these like heads of companies and everything. You
Yes.
are your own company.
Yep.
You are your own business. How does it feel being in Cannes as that? Because that's incredible.
It feels amazing. You know, I started in moved to LA in 2005. And when I first moved to LA, I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. But blogging was always a part of what I was doing and the plan. But in what capacity, I didn't know. So now, almost 20 years later, I'm just so grateful to still be here doing what I love and to have built one of the largest, most respected celebrity news and entertainment brands in the business. It's like I have to pinch myself. In Cannes at this moment is amazing.
At what point did it feel like you had made it?
Oh my goodness. I guess when I started going out and people were coming up to me like over and over, like, "Are you B. Scott?" And I was like, "Well, yes, I am."
Well, yes.
It's the weirdest thing because when people start coming up to you, I dealt with I didn't even feel worthy of it in a way.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Imposter syndrome.
I was like
kind of.
imposter syndrome. Like, are you coming up to me? I'm just, being myself. And I realized through being myself, I encourage other people to be who they are and to follow whatever dream they may have. And so that to me means the most. When people come up to me and say, "Hey, B, you're the reason why I did da 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 da," it warms my heart.
I love that. Wait, and also because, it's a social media and like working for yourself and online is a
Yes.
blessing and a curse.
Yep.
I feel, do you struggle to get an off switch? Because how does B. Scott relax? Or is that a...
The thing is, when you're running your own business, I don't think you ever truly relax because I'm always thinking about something that needs to be done. And when you have a team, especially in celebrity news and entertainment, you have to stay on top of that team to make sure the information is correct, that it's presented in a certain way, because you could get canceled. And I'm not trying to get canceled. So, I think that component of it is just kind of taxing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what else would I be doing?
Right.
So it's kind of like
That's
it's cool
true.
to be able to be one of the people who can set the tone for certain stories
Yes.
or to show people how certain things should be covered.
So you moved to LA in 2005.
Yes.
A few short years later, the Real Housewives of Atlanta premieres.
Correct.
And over time, you have really become the go-to source for all Atlanta Housewives news. How did that happen? How did you begin to build relationships with the cast and just really get into that space?
What's so crazy about it is that when that Housewives of Orange County came out, I really loved that show.
Okay.
And then when I heard there was going to be a Black Housewives franchise, I got super excited. And so very early on, I was obsessed with it and had all the original cast members, or just about all of them, on my YouTube channel. So at the same time when I launched lovebscott.com, simultaneously, I was becoming a YouTube celebrity.
Oh.
So I had millions and millions of views on YouTube, and then I started interviewing celebrities, and the Housewives of Atlanta wives were some of the first celebrities that were on my channel.
Wow.
So first season, second season, I think I had them on back to back. And so that's when our relationship started. That's when I started getting exclusive information. That's when people started giving me exclusive information about the franchise. And then over the years, it just kind of progressed, and my audience started to look to me for that type of information. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The show was exciting. And that's why I was so passionate about the reboot, because I want the show to get back to what it was. And so somewhere along the way, it lost its way.
Yeah.
And I want to get back to the excitement of how I felt when I first heard they were coming out with it.
Yeah.
And because, like you said, everyone was kind of very excited because they've been really extending the announcement of Atlanta coming back, and now we know
Yes.
they're filming again.
Yep.
How are you feeling about everything going on, especially with Kenya and the new girls? And yeah.
So, we broke the story about Bravo wanting to do a full reboot or a Miami-style reboot. They weren't sure which one. I now feel like I wish they would have went with a full reboot. No offense to any of the legacy housewives on the show, but I just think that it's hard to mix housewives that have been on the show for so long with new girls that come from a whole different generation, vibe, mindset. Two of the new girls were just on Instagram saying they didn't want to do the show. And I just think it's time for just a complete new group of women who are actually housewives in Atlanta I don't know why it's so hard to find successful housewives in Atlanta. I mean, you have all the athletes, you have all the television production there. You know, it seems like each year they just kind of throw it together.
Right. Will you be tuning in to the new season?
You know, it's crazy. I actually told my team outside of, you know, Bravo exclusively gave us the announcement for the new season, who the girls are going to be. Because of what I have been seeing and hearing, we haven't covered anything from that exclusive. Just because I've been unhappy with it, and I just also was unhappy with just the rollout of it all. Like, you know, the footage is getting leaked from actual tapings. When does that happen? Audio is getting leaked. And then the quote unquote, you know, nude photo scandal situation, all of that to me is just something that I don't want any part of. And it feels very like, this is not Atlanta Housewives.
Yeah, what was your initial reaction when you first saw the headlines about what happened between Britney and Kenya? And then also, what do you think of Kenya being suspended?
Oh, I think that, you know, for me, I just thought it was very lowbrow. And I thought it was something that felt like it was definitely something that Kenya didn't need to do. I don't know to what level, to what extent it was done, but it was at a level that Bravo decided to suspend her. And I think you have also painted context. Bravo is under, and NBC Universal is under, a number of ongoing lawsuits that some of which are sexual in nature, you know, so Brandy Granville's accusations against Andy, et cetera. So in that context, it makes perfect sense that they would suspend Kenya. And
also, at the same time, there's still the back and forth. It's not totally involving Bravo production, but like Tom and Ariana with Rachel's lawsuit, literally about revenge porn, which is what this is being considered.
So basically, you know, regardless, I would hate to believe that Kenya would do something flat on his face, just like it is revenge porn. I would hope to pray to God that is not an accurate depiction of it. Both for her, you know, professionally and her products and all the things in between. But also understanding you gotta read the room. So why would you do that, something even remotely kin to or a cousin to that type of issue when they're literally right now under ongoing lawsuits because of that?
Right, and Kenya is a smart girl, so it was a little shocking to me that she moved that way. If what is being reported is the truth, it's very weird. I also do want to.
I didn't even investigate if it was real or not real or whatever. I just didn't cover it. Nothing about it was like, ooh, I want to run this story.
Well, speaking of Kenya, I think it was a few seasons back, she was accused by her castmates of leaking something to TMZ, and she was like, I would never leak to TMZ. I would only ever leak to B. Scott. How did it feel to get that shout out at the time? And I feel like at that moment I was like, okay, so clearly like these girls really do love B. Scott.
But the thing is, I don't know how it felt. I mean, I was kind of like on the fence about it because the reality is, yes, Kenya is my friend. However, my contacts and my connections are far more invasive than her. So a lot of people were contributing the information I got from Kenya giving it to me, and that wasn't true. So I have sources, I mean, at NBC, at Bravo, at production, hair and makeup, glam, you know, you name it. If I want to find out some information, I'm going to get to it. I don't even have to go to a housewife.
Gotcha.
You know, are me and Kenya friends? Yes. Did she give me information? Maybe.
But friendly banter. That's interesting to know that it's not that simple.
But however, I don't need information from any housewife.
Gotcha. And also because I'm sure, like you said, you have your people running everything. You're like, well, we're going to check that, what they say, too, with all your actual sources.
And typically how stories work is that you get, you know, maybe a piece of information here, get another piece there, and then you kind of start building the puzzle together. So over time, when you work with over time when you work with sources that are credible, they all can give you different little parts.
Right. And over time, you have developed a better relationship with NBC Universal and Bravo. Now they're giving you exclusives. How did that happen? What was the change that happened there?
At one point, they were just like, okay, can you please stop telling every detail of the new season? What do we have to do? And I was like, well, if you want me to stop telling all the details of the new seasons of Housewives of Atlanta or Potomac or whatever information that I would get, you have to give me something in its place. So up until then, they were giving all their information to people. So, and I was saying to them too, I was like, I'm a Black media site, and I have a huge following in the sweet spot of these shows. So why would you give it to another publication when you could give it to me? And this is the exact audience you're trying to target.
Right, that makes sense.
And so it made sense to them too.
And you were talking about Potomac too, because they're actively filming right now.
Yeah.
We're seeing the pictures
Yep.
here and there.
Yep.
The Wendy and Giselle hugging. Are you? Because I know you were excited for Atlanta. Now you're not
Yes.
so much anymore.
Yes.
Are we excited for the new season of Potomac?
I am excited for the new season of Potomac. I'm hoping that they won't get so bogged down with the colorism issue. Is colorism a real issue? Yes. Do we want to see it play out on the Housewives franchise? No. So we go to the franchises for, escapism, to laugh, to giggle, to be captivated, but not to feel like, oh my God, this is getting too ugly. This is getting too deep. This is, kind of dark.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that with the switch up, with the new girls, with Candace departing, and congratulations to her for being pregnant. I hope she has a wonderful pregnancy. I just hope that they can shed that issue.
Yeah. B. Scott,
Put it behind them.
have you ever thought about doing reality TV yourself? Because you got the look, you got the connections. I feel like there could be a very interesting show about your life, your career. Would you ever do it?
Yes and no. I think that, years ago I was approached about being on Love and Hip Hop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
What, and you
And that was
obviously...
immediately no.
Okay, and why? Why was that a
It
no?
literally was like one of the producers sent me a text on my phone, and the phone said, "Is this junk?" And I said, "Yes, this is junk."
A sign from above.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, the way my temper is set up, I can't do that. You can't put your hands on me. You can't throw drinks on me. I only would do reality TV if I was set up like Lisa Vanderpump. So if I was doing something where it is the cast having the drama and doing all those things, and I come in like Mama B and say, hey, cut it out.
Right. Okay, I can see that.
I'm the hey, cut it out bitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like you would be an amazing creator or producer of reality shows. Has that
Yes.
ever been an interest of you?
That's really what I want to get into. So
Okay, yeah.
my television show that I did with BET, I hosted and executive produced it, and I
amazing.
want to do more executive producing because as the talent, it's a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
You have to be on. It's like hours and hours of taping. So producing will allow me to be able to be involved, but also don't have to do so much heavy lifting and really make more money.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. Like the talent is, you're disposable.
Right.
But if you produce and come up with a concept,
It's yours.
they can't dispose of you.
Yeah.
Just look at Andy. Like he's
Yeah.
not going anywhere because he is an essential part and creator, a co-creator of the whole Housewife franchises.
Is there a concept that you've kind of ruminated on about like a fun show idea that you think could work?
Yes. A part of what people don't know about me is that I have a love of hotels, especially like boutique hotels, luxury rentals. I envision having a show where I buy a property, maybe somewhere in the south of France, and I renovate it. I don't know what I'm doing, and you see the process of me launching my first, boutique hotel.
could
I
be fun.
would watch that and also stay there.
Yeah.
That'd be very fun. Wait, because you love
Yes.
hotels, where's the best hotel you've stayed at?
The best hotel I stayed at, I will say the most enchanting one so far for me, I loved Little Beach House in Barcelona, outside of Barcelona, and I think it's pronounced Garraf. I just loved it. Something about it feels like a postcard. That's why coming here is so enchanting because it reminds me of that. And I have to explore some more hotels here as well.
Yeah, well, speaking of Cannes,
Yes.
we're here. Before we let you go, tell us what's going on this week. You're hosting a
I have
panel.
a
You're
lot.
doing a lot.
So
yeah.
tonight I'm hosting the awards for Inkwell Beach, the Aya Inclusion Awards. That means a lot because my whole yes, I am a media maven and all those things, but I also am a member of the LGBTIQA plus community. And a part of what I've done is shown people that someone like me deserves to hold space, deserves to be who they are, and that you can do whatever you want to do. So tonight, I'm celebrating other brands and agencies that are doing the good work and giving out awards there. Tomorrow, I am going to be on a panel, Media Mavens, for the female quotient. And then on Wednesday, I am moderating a panel about inclusion again. So I'm doing all the things, but Thursday, Friday, I'm having fun.
Okay. And wait, on the Thursday, Friday where you're having fun, who do you hope to be sitting in the beach chair next to you that you want to run into that you can only run into in Cannes?
I want to see Queen Latifah.
Okay.
Queen Latifah is here. She's a huge role model icon to me. I would love to just see her, give her a hug. I also heard Issa Rae is here. I would love to see Issa Rae as well. And my good friend John Legend, he's there too.
Okay, amazing. Yeah. Well,
let's go find your good friend John Legend. I'd love to meet him too. Yeah, all right.
Well, friend. I don't know a good friend.
Well, you are a role model and icon to us, so thank you so much for taking the time, Scott. This was so much fun.
Thank you. And of course, double kisses. Bye-bye.